Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I don't know where you guys are watching this from. Anywhere that this has been watched from, I just want to say good good whatever season of the day you are to you. And I am so delighted. It's actually been a while since we made a live stream video, and this is one thing that we actually want to make it a culture to be making live videos at FX with a KG, and I'm very sure that I'm not gonna say we are getting there. We are there. Okay. Now straight to business. I made a podcast. No, actually I made a blog yesterday, and the blog so very interesting that we had to you know make a very wonderful analysis regarding Euro US dollar, and why Euro, and also why the British pounds, okay, why they have been so very strong as against the US dollar, and why the US dollar has been so weak, you know. And I know a lot of people will not notice this, okay. A lot of people will not notice it. A lot of people will not put it into notice, like, okay, let's what's really going on. Let's see why is Euro stronger than the US. Why is what's happening? Why is price just moving in one direction? And let me quickly go to the blog um and show you what really happened, what we did there. And this is a live stream. We don't have to rush anything. We just have to take our time and make sure that everything works for good. All right. Okay, now this is it, the latest one that we just did. All right, here we are. So you can also take your time. You can equally take your time to go to the website fxtraderkg.trade, click on the blog and news section, and read through the blog. That would normally, I mean, that originally is going to give you an understanding of what you should do, and why you should keep into a particular currency pair, and see which currency is stronger and which currency is weaker, and if there is need for you to buy or not buy, if a currency pair is bullish or if a currency pair is bearish. Okay, so that is the things that one of the things that we wanted to be doing, and I'm believing that we try as much as possible to do more of that. My name is FX with a KG, and I want to welcome you back to the channel. Here we try as much as possible to simplify the forex business, the forex market, as a financial trader, as a financial analyst, and the reason is so that everyone can understand. See how simple it is. So today I was actually supposed to make the video yesterday, which is the 22nd day in the month of April 2025, but yeah, for some unforeseen circumstances, I had to quickly do it today, which is the 23rd day in the month of April 2025. And it's good that we have got a major move happening in Euro USD. Okay, we've got a major move happening in Euro USD, and the move, okay, I just want to quickly switch to Euro USD. Okay, yeah, so we've got a move happening in Euro USD, and So far so good. If you go to a bigger time frame, like let's say 1 hour, you would see, okay, let's actually do 4 hours. You see how well price has moved from this bottom here, up until where this highest high here. Okay, you can see how it has moved. And let me use a cross here to see how many pips price has actually given, or price has actually moved. This is about 830 pips. Okay, although as a financial trader, you are not going to pick every trade in the market. You can't take all the pips in the market, but it's important to know the direction with which price is moving and why you have to follow the trend, because like they always say, the trend is not your enemy. Okay, now let's me analyze the euro. The euro, as we can see this move that it had been making. Okay, let us also do even the daily. Let me move to the daily time frame. Now the euro is keeps climbing higher. Okay, that means the euro keeps climbing higher. That means the euro on the other, let me rephrase it, that let me say that the euro is stronger than the US dollar. Okay, so the euro keeps climbing higher, while the US dollar keeps struggling to keep up. Okay, so there are some key factors that we need to look into and why all of these things are happening. Number one is why the dollar is weak. Number two is, like you can see, what the charts are saying. Okay, what the charts are saying. And number three is how we can trade this move. Okay, how we can trade this move, and some other things that is attached to it. Now look at the screen very well. The most important thing that I have here, aside the candlesticks, and this software that I have here to symbol changer, it's this stop and reverse software. Okay, is this stop and reverse stuff software. Now if you look at it, where price started from, this is the previous year low. That is the stop and reverse level where price made all the actually gave us a zone. Now you can also see it from here. This was where price actually ended from, ended the year. I said this was the lowest low for last year, and so far so good. We have been able to see price range, or you can also say consolidated around those points. Now every time it ranges, it it ranges, it comes back up, touched the next stop and reverse, and comes back down. Okay, back to the previous year low, until there was touched it again and did a pullback until there was a breakout. Now that breakout, we actually analyzed it. If you watch some of our old videos, yeah, for this year, we analyzed it, that break above this point here, yeah, that break above this level here, is going to definitely give us a bullish confirmation that we should continue buying, what's it called, euro US dollar. And price actually did break it, with this candlestick here. Okay, now I'm still analyzing the chart. I've not really said anything about what happened. Okay, I've not said anything about what happened. Okay, which of course I'm going to do now. At the break of this high here, this resistance level, this mini very short resistance level here, look at, since then price has moved. Now you will see all these influencers, all these financial trading influencers, what they come and what they always do is to say, oh, I bought from here, I stopped here, I saw this, and I price came down, and I bought again from here, and I moved this. It doesn't really add up. Okay, and I'm not in and I'm not down for that. Okay, we've made an analysis as regard this, that at the break of this point, the price, there's a possibility that price might. And look at, so far so good. If you are traded from here, if you are an intraday, if you're not an intraday trader and you are a swing trader, one that trades long term, you'd have made about 900 pips. 900 pips, which could be about $900 for you. It could be 9,000, it could be 90,000, it could be 900,000, it could be 9 million. Okay, it could be 90 million, it could be 900 million. It depends on the lot size that you are trading, the amount or the capacity of it depends on your capacity, as in your capital, right? Okay, now price broke this point and kept going up, but every time it breaks, we get to see that price, there's always a reaction around or near or at any of these stop and reverse lines here. So in other words, now you can also see another that happened here. Okay, look at where my cursor is, here. Okay, now look at it. Price used this stop and reverse, which was the previous year high, as a what, as a resistance point. Now look at, let's move away from here and talk about what we have this year. Now look at, now every time it breaks, okay, it touches another, and if there is going to be a pullback, it does the pullback ends near a stop and reverse. And anytime there's a breakout, you look out for the next one, and anytime that happens, the pullback always happens near the next or the lower stop and reverse. I don't want to call it support and resistance. Okay, that's why you see we named it SNR, that's stop and reverse. Okay, it does that and it breaks, so which means there's tendency, an opportunity, or a privilege, or a chance that we could be adding up to our trades per every pullback, okay, before any impulse directional move that we want to make. Now I think you understand that. So it's a very useful tool for us, and we always respect whatever decision that we are going to make around the stop and reverse software that we have. Now look at here, price has actually moved past the previous year high. That's last year high. If I zoom it out a little bit, you will see this is actually the high of last year. This is the highest that price moved. This is the lowest that price moved. So that, let's say, that means that Euro USD didn't make much last year, did it? And the move was not that much. It was only about, not even up to 1,000 pips. Everything that Euro USD made, every move from top up to down, down to up, it was just about 880 something pips, about almost 900 pips. But this year, it has been so massive that Euro has been so strong, and very strong, stronger than the US dollar. So why is Euro strong? Okay, I'll state it this way. Okay, I'll state it this way, that if you are one that, okay, before I state that, I want to encourage each and every trader out there, especially the new ones, the intermediate, even in fact some professional traders, to always combine the use of FA and TA. Okay, which is fundamental analysis, that's the FA, and technical analysis. Okay, combine the use of the two together. It is going to help you a lot in making decisions. All right, so if you are one that always go to these places like fxstreet.com, actionforex.com, what's it called, forexfactory.com, you definitely, maybe you must, and you don't just go there to browse, you are going there to learn, to get information about your work. Okay, each and every of these major FX websites, would have dropped an article or a report about what is happening to the ECB, that is the European Central Bank, okay, and that they just cut the interest rate, okay, and that they have said not to worry about the inflation, and that inflation was going to come down to 2% by 2026. Okay, so that is the essence of this article, of this blog that we have written here. That is the essence of this blog that we have put together here. Okay, now if that kind of, or that level of assurance is given, if that level of assurance is given as a nation to investors, to borrowers, don't you think that's a good news? That's a good news. And if it's a good news, so far or so long it is a good news, it is like, always say in actionforex.com, they say it is good for currency. That means it is good for the European nation or nations as a whole. All right, it's good for the European nations. Now, this tells the market that Europe as a whole is in control of inflation. Okay, that they are in control of inflation, and also that the economy might be able to handle the rate cut. Okay, the rate cut smoothly, that they are going to handle the rate cut very smoothly. Now, a simple thing I want you to understand is that when central banks are calm and whenever they are confident, investors always trust their currency more. Okay, they always trust their currency more. Now, that's, if you last week or 2 weeks ago, there was this news that the great Warren Buffett had to do something. And what did he do? He took, his investors' money and also his money out. Okay, let's be factual. Okay, I want us to be factual. Okay, they say he has been actively selling stocks. Okay, actively selling stocks. He has been actively selling stock. Okay, let's just say 300. Okay, all right, now you can see this is one of the wise decision made by this great man here, Warren Buffett. Okay, he took his money and it's also his investors' money, about 300 billion USD, out of the market. Why? Because the US dollar is not strong, because the euro seems very favorable. So you can't just be watching your money and be thinking, oh, okay, maybe tomorrow the government is going to make one decision, maybe another thing is going to happen. Investors don't keep their money, in currencies or in nations that they are not comfortable with the events that is happening around, them. Okay, so in other words, it means that you trusting a nation who, um, uh, uh, when you trust central banks, and when central banks are calm and whenever they are confident, it means trust, that investors are going to trust them. And that means more demand, and that means higher value. Okay, so trust is always equals to more demand, and more demand is always equal to higher value. Now, we go back to our blog. I'm just trying to explain this so we can, see reason why the the euro is actually stronger than the US dollar. Now, the second question is, why is the dollar weak? That's on the other side. We all see as financial traders how active the newly elected president of the United States, Donald Trump, has been. It's a man, whatever he wants, it's a president that whatever he wants it done right here and now. And one of the things has been doing is he pushing the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates quickly. Now, if he's pushing the Federal Reserve chairman to cut the interest rate quickly, and if that has not been done, you would want to say that politics is now one way or the other interfering with the central bank. Okay, they're now using the politics of the United States. Or I'm the president of the United States, who is a politically appointed person, now interfering with major decisions of the policies of the central bank of the United States, which is the Federal Reserve. Now, if the two are now interfering, what happens when two lions, also when two elephants are fighting? What happens? That's an African adage though. It is the grass that suffers it. So investors will then begins to do what? Get G3. Okay. Now let us also think of it this way. That imagine if each and every one, maybe India, China, individually, okay, your country, that if your bank started making decisions based on what politicians wanted instead of the actual financial data, you as an investor, would you still trust? I mean, are you still going to trust the bank with your money? No. Look at what is happening all over the world. Okay, when decisions like that are being made, you would not want to trust bank with your money. And what would you do? Some of us, or some people, will say, I prefer my money to be here, or I prefer my money to do something different for me. Now, you would not trust your bank with your money, and that is what is actually happening to the US dollar. You see the reason why the like of the great Warren Buffett will withdraw his money, not his money, his money, and also his clients' money, about over 300 billion dollars out of the market. Definitely it's going to crash the US market, at least to some extent. Okay, now political interference on a very good day, is will definitely means market uncertainty. Okay, you will never know what the market is going to dish out for you, and that means investors will move their money elsewhere. That's what the likes of Warren Buffett have done. I'm sure a lot of other big investors would have done the same too, and a lot of people who are actually also looking up to the like of Warren Buffett would have done so that is the core thing that is happening. Okay, and that means that euro is saying one good thing, America is saying one, euro is making one great decision, and America is making one bad decision. It means that you're going to have confidence in euro, and also a lot of doubts in what's it called, you're going to have a lot of doubt in the US dollar, and also that means that the euro is going to be bullish. The euro is going to be, euro USD is going to be bullish. That is the essence of what you are seeing here. The euro is going to be bullish. So I try as much as possible not to paint my experience too much. Okay, I just want to do it raw. Okay, I just want to do it raw, the way it is. That's why I love it when most times I do live streams, except when the networks are not too good, not too favorable, here. Now that is one of the reasons why you're seeing this move, sharp move from, like seriously, 1,002, 1,003, 1,002, almost 1,003 pips. Okay, that explains that. Now on the technical side, I have explained a little bit about what the chart is telling us. So even if you're new to technical analysis, I'll try as much as possible to explain it again. Okay, but I'm not going to do any drawing. Okay, now euro USD is around this stop and reverse, which is let's around 1513. That is 1.1513, and that support, stop and reverse, so to say, has been the highest since 2021. Yeah, since 2021. Yeah, since 2021. If I move it in a little bit, you see, since 2021, this is actually 2018, this is 2019, this is 2020, this is since 2021 here, this is around 2021. So that's the highest, that it has, been since 2021. Now that alone tells you that something is actually cooking. I'm actually in the weekly chart though. Tells you that something is cooking, something is really going on. Price cannot just be falling like this fell. It cannot just be, in a bigger time frame, it cannot just be falling, and it cannot just be going up without it looking back at all. Although there will be retracement, there will be pullbacks, but the impulsive move is so sharp that you see it breaks every lows, and it breaks every highs, and just finding new highs and finding new lows, finding new highs if it is buying, and finding new lows if price is selling. Now the important levels to watch here, as to what the chart is telling us, let's look at the important levels to watch. Okay, I've moved my chart back to 4-hour time frame. Okay, move the chart down to 4-hour time frame. Now the support here, I actually taped this support, although there were two support levels which I looked at. The very first one is this that price was going to fall back. Yeah, okay, that price was actually going to fall back down. If it breaks this level here, that price was going to fall back down to 1.1213. Okay, but I then now set another stop and reverse, which was at 1.1276. Okay, which is below here. You see, look at the fall from yesterday. You see that price almost touched here. Yes, price almost touched there, and I don't know, it could have ended the fall, the pullback could have ended, and it can still continue until maybe another whatever decision the big dogs want to make, whatever decision they want to make happens. And looking at this price action here, this week, this candle week, you would want to say that possibly it seems the BS have rested a little bit, and that the bulls have taken over, or that the bulls want to take over, so that the market can continue to break, can continue to find another high. towards breaking barriers, like price breaks this point here and then continue to move upward and upward and upwards. Now this is a price level here where I was beginning out. I was thinking that price is going to find a bottom. Okay, and it has actually found a bottom here in the past. I was thinking that price was could find another bottom here too. All right, and but let's see how the price go. Now the resistance level, that for the resistance level, you see from the analysis that we said we are looking at based on what we have on our our blog. Go to the blog and read it out and understand what we have been doing. Okay, yeah, I think it's a whole lot for each and every one of us to benefit from. Okay, okay, so you see this, that if price eventually breaks this stop and reverse here, we will be looking at this next stop and reverse, as that is if we take any buy opportunity from here, and maybe if I'm able to find any entry, if I'm able to find any entry around here, then 1.1513 is going to be my first TP, and then 1.1698 is going to be 98984 is going to be my second TP. Okay, so this is where the market may hit its head and reverse, or it may hit its head and stall. Okay, now you see how simple it is, and the reason why you will be wondering why are some people making why are people making money trading the financial market, and why are a lot not making money at all. You have to be so deep with this understanding and know what your expectations are. Okay, okay, know what your expectations are. Now let's go to the 15 minutes chart. Let's see if we can see a little some pullbacks. Okay, I'm beginning to have issues with my network. Okay, now look at what we have. Price fell. Look at that fall. It fell from here, which is around 1.1573, broke above our stop and reverse and went as high as 1.1573, and look at where it stopped. Okay, it bottomed at 1.1306. Everything here is about almost 264 pips. Let's say 265 pips. Some people would have cashed out. I mean, make a a bunch of money from this pullback kind of trading too. Okay, but you see, this is an area where we have to be looking for entry opportunities to buy USD from, because the major trend says buy. The major trend is actually bullish. Okay, the major trend is actually bullish. There were some charts I made yesterday. We had to look at some pullbacks in the 15 minutes. That's why I brought us here. Okay, look at some pullback, which is normal profit making, taking, or let's say normal profit taking idea when you are using a multi-time frame. Okay, so this is one. You look at the 4 hours, you look at the daily, 4 hours, 1 hour, and also you look at the 15-minute time frame. And once you get your entry, that is one of the things that I also am going to be teaching in maybe once in a while. I'll be dropping in the Telegram app channel for people to also learn from, or learn and add to their arsenal. Okay, so I guess we have been able to do a little, and I will try as much as possible to see if we can you know get an opportunity to buy Euro USD. Okay, I think it's a good opportunity though. Add to what you have. All right, now this same way I'm sending immediately to the Telegram channel. Okay, okay, I'm sending to the Telegram channel immediately. All right. All right, guys. At the end of the day, I want you guys to understand how this works and the importance, the benefits that you are going to get when you understand come to the fx.kg.trade website, go to the blog and see if you can find any useful information. Like yesterday, these are the pictures, the images, the graphics the images we actually took when we looked at the 15-minute time frame. We looked at the 1 hour time frame. We looked at the 4 hour and also the daily time frame, just to be able to devise the our trade setup. And we gave a buy near, we gave a buy scenario, and also we gave a bullish scenario. And that bullish scenario was actually what happened, at a failure for price to hold above 1.153. That's stop and reverse level, that it could lead to a retracement towards 1470. All right, yeah, it could lead to a retracement towards 1470, but I'm not sure we got to 1470, or price went below 1470. Okay, so that is about that. All right, thank you so very much. I'll see you in the next one, and I say peace. Bye. Subscribe to the Telegram channel, follow go to our Telegram platform and see what you can do about becoming a member of the FX Trader KG website. Okay, the community, we want to grow it as much as we want to grow it as much as we can. We want to grow it as much as we can and see help ourselves to become profitable traders. Okay, to become profitable trader. This is just free for all. It's just simple. Let's trade together. That's just a word. That's a statement. Let's trade together. So do what we are doing. And when we make money, you make money. When we lose, you lose. But yes, our winnings are better. Okay. Our winnings are what? They are better. So just click here, go to the Telegram community that we are trying to build. And you can also join us in any and every of this. Use any of this link here. We're trying to reach as many people as possible. Yeah, to touch everywhere. You could be a Facebook user, TikTok user, X, that's Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads, Snapchat. Yeah, the new red notes that we all, everybody's running to. Then we once in a while we, listen to our podcast. Then go to Medium. Like yesterday, I think we posted on our Medium platform yesterday, and talked about this. Okay, just we said a little about it, and I think it was beautiful, right? Yeah, so that's how beautiful it is, Quora and Naira Land. So if you're saying Naira Land, then you should know where FX Trader KG is from. All right, so we will see you in another one. We will see you in another one. We say peace, and we love you.